this way here.
Wow.
Gee, you're shedding, dude. Coming to the end of summer, you're supposed to stop shedding now. There we go. Got some people here now. Perhaps a little too much makeup. Yeah, well, like I said, I had to make sure when I did on the video that I made sure everyone knew I wasn't transitioning. Hey, Connie. Hi, Eric. Hi, JC. Hi, Margaret. How's everyone doing today? There's everyone's old buddy here. Hello, Gene. How are you? Hi, Bite. How are you? I watched the Squid Game yet. Don't even know what that is. You're gonna be over on this side today, huh? Is that how it's gonna be? And of course, as a treat to those of you who show up early on the live streams, you get to see Nibble before she goes and hides in her room. I definitely gotta go get some more kitty treats. That one's almost gone. Come on, Nibble. Want some kitty treats? Huh? Gotta coax her in here. There she comes. I suppose you want one too, don't you? That's how it always is. Kitty drool all over my fingers now. Nibble, you want another one? And I wonder why I get bit, right? Oh well, too slow. All right, let's see what's going on here. Doesn't look like I've missed anything. No one got anything to say today, huh? I have no idea what Squid Game is, so. Hello, John. Netflix. People do childhood games to win money. If they lose, they die. So it's like the Hunger Games. Slow starting out today. We're told we'll return, be able to travel to U.S. and U.K. soon. Well, that's good. Yeah, okay. I thought that seemed a little weird. Why would somebody from UK be talking about travel? Okay, from UK to US. Got your you words backwards here. How's my mom doing? My mom's doing all right. Let's see. She sent me a text message last night. I'll read it to you. Let's see. It's fine here. Here's my check-in for tonight. So far, so good. Have a regular doctor appointment on Monday, so we'll see what pieces of knowledge she has to share. She says, have a happy lives team and give everyone my best. So there you go. She's also got me doing her Christmas letter this year. She used to have my father do that, but that's not really an option anymore. So I get the honor. So she's going to send me the stationery. She sent me the text of the message about a week or two ago, and I got to basically just put it all together and make it look nice. So I got the Windows 11 update. No, I haven't done that yet. I don't know. I want to read more about it because, sometimes I've learned with Windows has this kind of every other operating system thing that they have to contend with. At least it's been that way a lot. One operating system is good, and then one is really bad, and then another one's good, and another one's really bad, and that's been going back for like 30 years. Windows or DOS 3 was good, DOS 4 wasn't so good, DOS 5 was good, and it was Windows 3 was pretty good. Uh, what Windows 3.1 was a little better. Windows NT was a little clumsy. Windows ME was a joke. Windows 2000 was pretty good. Windows what XP was good. It's just some of them are good, some of them are bad. You really got to just wait and let other people wait in there and try. Windows 10 is pretty reliable right now, and that's what I got on all my machines. So probably just keep that for now. I'll let the rest of you be the guinea pigs. I don't really follow computer news as much as I used to. I used to be a real computer news junkie. Hello, Ruth. I'm doing fine. Yeah, it's cooling off a little bit. It's still supposed to be like in the lower 90s today, but it's been like 80s and 90s for the past couple weeks. We're definitely getting into fall, and actually, there's supposed to be a thunderstorm blowing in tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. Get a little. I always love it, especially when it's on a one of my weekend nights, and tonight's a weekend night, so I don't have to do anything today and or tonight, and I can just sit and enjoy it. And if it comes in 11 or 12 or something like that, you know what? I can sit out on the patio and just enjoy it. Or bite and nibble. Bite and nibble are, well, Bite's right here. There's Nibble. She's kind of running around. I'm sure Bite will make his appearance known at some point. He was here at the early part of the live stream. That's why you gotta set the bell so that you find out when I come on here, because usually Nibble and Bite both make their appearance right at the beginning. Bite's usually here off and on throughout the live stream, but Nibble, you know, she'll be here for the first few minutes and then she'll go back into her room. She's had her kitty treats. Now it's time to go sleep it off. How was Silos? Silos is a lot of fun. I'm having a blast. You know, every year, you know, if I'm in a different position, it kind of takes me a little while to work out my routine, and you know, a couple of days, you know, to kind of figure out what I want to do, figure out what works, you know, experiment with different things. I'm in a room. I'm supposed to be the creepy dentist, and I've got a dentist chair in front of me, and like this Dremel tool that I'm supposed to be using like as a drill, and I'm drilling at this severed head. That, I mean, you've seen pictures of it if you've been on the live, if you've been on the Facebook page, and basically this year they gave me like some fake teeth. So what I'll do is I'll have like a tooth in one hand and I'll be drilling at the head with the other one. And as people come in, I'll be focused on that, and I'll kind of slowly turn at them and glare at them. And then as they're watching, I'll take the tooth in my hand and drop it into this dish, and that kind of freaks people out. And then when they kind of go around the corner to head to the next scene, I'll usually pick up the head and chase them with it. But I've also been known to take the teeth and throw them at people. So I'm having a blast doing it. Are the bathroom vanities antique like the kitchen? Yeah, yes, they are. And I might end up having to do something about that too. But the advantage with that is there's only one cabinet in there, and I think I could install one cabinet. The problem is, you know, doing a whole row of them and making them all line up and all be perfectly straight and all perfectly, you know, butted up to each other, and dealing with all that stuff. And so, you know, that's a little bit more complicated, and I'm going to leave that to the professionals. But I think with the one in the bathroom, I could probably do that on my own. I've seen enough home improvement shows to have a pretty good idea how they do that. Do you get hecklers at Silo Screams that sometimes give you trouble? Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of problem with it, but I've heard of other people who've been punched by people. I had an incident last year. I was in another maze last year called Her Wicked Way, and I was in this room that had windows on two sides with like bars on them. And so I'd like, you know, bang on the bars and stuff like that. But then on the third wall, there was a hole in the wall about this big, and people wouldn't necessarily notice that. And so as they came around, they'd come across the two windows and they'd bang on the bars and scare them. And then as they came around the other side, I'd reach out the hole and try and grab them, and that freaked people out. I had a few people, you know, punch at my arm and stuff, or pull on my arm or stuff like that. But I really haven't had a whole lot of problems with violence, so per se. But one of the problems you run into, especially with younger people, is they tend to get drunk when they come to Silo Scream. So you smell a lot of alcohol on people's breath when they're going through there, and so people like that can be a little unpredictable. And of course, you know, the least fun people at all in a haunted house are the people that just sit there and stare at you or laughing, you know, rather than, you know, being afraid. You know, that's sort of the point of going into a haunted house, to be afraid, you know. But I have a lot of fun doing it, and you know, I've got several things. You know, people come around this corner. You know, like I said a minute ago, I've got a couple of little things I do, kind of develop your own routines. And one of them is, you know, before they come around the corner, I'll grab the head and I'll hold it in my hand and I'll jump out at them with the head and kind of push it into their face like that. And I get my share of screams that way. And of course, as is always the case in a haunted house staffed by real people, the person that screams the most is going to get the most attention. So if I get somebody that's just screaming their ears off, they're the ones I'm going after, and I ain't letting loose until they're out of my area. I had a couple people last night actually say they peed themselves as a result of me, so that's always a success. You like the cooking video? Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that turned out real well. I mean, I did that one a couple weeks ago, so that didn't last long. That's already gone, but that was yummy. Do I do Silo every night? No, it's 2 nights a week. It's Fridays and Saturdays in October, and then we're also going to work Halloween night, but it's just 2 nights. You like the skeleton behind me? Yeah, I always like to put something different in the scene just to kind of, make things interesting to look at. Although I realize now the skeleton's blocking the computer screen, so you can't see my friend's Island Horizon videos in the background. Have to plan that better next time. You want to go, but it sounds scary. Well, that's the point of a haunted house, Eric. You got to come. You'll love it. Got four scary mazes for you to go through. You got Her Wicked Way, the Incinerator, the Clown House, the Fun House, and the Van Winkle Memorial Hospital. That's the one I'm in. You missed the teddy bear. Teddy bear's here. He's just kind of slacking a little bit. He's there. He's just blending into the A-Team van too much. Maybe I gotta light things a little better here. I guess that's the problem. I usually open up the blinds on the windows, so that's a little bit more light in here. Hey, Bite, you gonna come up and visit? Hmm?
Meow. Meow.
It is. It's in Temple. Yeah, I think the website is Silo of Screams. John told me last night that he put my interview with him up on the official website. Yeah, there's Bite coming here to maybe show his butt. Did I check out Jordan motorcycle? No, did Jordan get a motorcycle? Or did he just do a vlog on motorcycles? You got to remember, I've been going like 19, 20-hour days for the last 2 days. So, it's been work, Silo of Screams, and sleep. And that's been all it's been. You drove by a Silo of Screams billboard yesterday. Okay, that's how I originally discovered Silo of Screams. They had one in Waco, and I saw it the first year I was here, and I saw it when I was driving around one day, and I said, you know what, I had to go check that out and see if I can vlog it. That'd be an interesting vlog. And so I drove up there, and well, the rest is history. You're visiting a foundry and temple within the next 2 weeks. If you're here on a Friday or Saturday, come to Silo Screams, 8 to 11. As I said on the video I did with the interview with John, I'll if you see me, say my name or something like that, and I won't break character, but it's at least fun to have people recognize me. I had a couple of girls go through the maze last night that I was in. They said, "Oh, that's the guy from the YouTube channel. I saw that guy on YouTube," or something like that. They might have just seen the interview I did with John. They probably went to the Silo of Screams website because, like I said, I looked at that last night, and because John told me he'd put the Um, he put my interview with him. He also put last week's live stream on, which kind of surprised me. Because the only thing that really tied in with Silent Screams in last week's live stream was that the cover picture was me in makeup. I think it was a picture with me and the head. I think it was. Let's see here. Yeah, see, this is the front page there, and that's my video of him doing the interview a couple weeks ago, and that's me with the head that was the cover picture of last week's head live stream. So, and it's kind of fun because he's got one of my old videos that I produced for him too. That one there is a video I produced a couple years ago. That was the first one I did. That was the Funhouse video. Yeah, it would be fun to see it. I'm in the middle of the Van Winkle Memorial Hospital, so that's like the third maze that you go through because usually they run them in order. So you usually run her Wicked Way first, then the incinerator, and then people generally go to the Van Winkle Memorial, and then ultimately the Funhouse. A lot of people don't like the Funhouse maze though because that's got clowns on it. A lot of people are freaked out by clowns. In fact, John has got a rule: the clowns aren't allowed out of the maze because it freaks people out. You thought that was a good interview with John? Yeah, I was actually talking to John last night when I was there, and he said he watched the video for the first time, and he said he was really, really pleased with how well the video turned out. You know, he was concerned because sometimes he's got like some breathing problems, and he was concerned that he might not be able to do the whole thing. And I said, you know what? I sometimes stutter a little bit when I talk too, and I've become very adept at covering that up with creative editing. So I said, if you have any problems, just stop, regain your composure, start and repeat the last sentence again, and I'll just cut it together and no one will even know. But that was all one cut. There was no editing at all on that. And he said he was really pleased with it. He said sometimes, it's hard to be articulate when you're in front of a camera like that, and get all your points across and keep your thought process going and all that. But it was a good interview. He did well. Hello, Dave and Terry. Welcome back. Getting a few days of high tornado threat in central Oklahoma. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I'm glad I got a storm shelter here just in case. Tornadoes don't happen here very often, but they have happened. I mean, I covered that big one in '53. It killed a whole bunch of people. Your sister is terrified of clowns. Apparently, a lot of people are. Apparently, it's a very common phobia. We have a request for a belly rub. Are you up for a belly rub? Huh? Belly rub time. Oh, there's a big fat tub of lard here. Big fat tub of lard. Okay, that's it. Belly rub's over. Hey, Jeff, how's it going, buddy? All the big name storm chasers are roaming today. I betcha. You're more afraid of guys in suits and clowns. What about a clown in a suit? How's my mom? My mom is doing well. She sent me her usual text last week, or last night and said that she's doing well. She's got a doctor's appointment just to kind of check how things are going, but she said everything seems to be fine. Thank you, Jeff, for the super chat for the Fake Blood and Scar Fund. Yeah, I need that. Definitely a few treats in that tummy. Oh, you ain't that the truth? There's more than a few treats in there. When I was misspeaking and saying catfish instead of mermaid, that was pretty funny. Yeah, I didn't realize I did that until I was editing it, and it's like, and the first time it happened, it's like, oh man, did I really just do that? And then I did it again, and I did it again, and I did it again. It's like, oh man. And so, instead of just being embarrassed or trying to cover it up, it's just sometimes you just got to acknowledge it and turn it into a joke. Jeff's off to get barbecue. That sounds good. Never can complain about barbecue. Barbecue's always good. Maybe I'll barbecue for dinner. That's a good idea. Have to get some meat out and get it thawing. Yeah, probably happy. Yeah, hungry for catfish, definitely. Trick or treat, Jeff, or trick or treat, Eric. I'm probably more likely to go with the trick. Well, like I said, sometimes you got to turn stupid mistakes like that into a joke, and I just thought the idea of cutting in the little clips of me going was really funny. So that was an afterthought. I just went and shot those out in the backyard, and I said, I either got to just keep correcting myself with text or just make a joke out of it. And you know what? I'll make a joke out of it. Sometimes it's fun. It's better just to laugh than to get frustrated or angry about it. Laura Lee's birthday is on Halloween. The singer of Guided by Voices' birthday is on Halloween too. You're dressing as Nurse Ratched this year. That's awesome. Great reference. Hello, Phyllis. How's it? How's things in Calgary? Kathleen made the beef stew without the beef. That's perfectly fine. It was good. Connie's having big ham for dinner. See, we always wonder why it is that we get into talking about food. This is how it happens. Starts off with Jeff having barbecue and Connie making veggie stew and or Kathleen making veggie stew, and now Connie's having ham for dinner. This is how it happens. We're tumbling down that rabbit hole now. I guess I remember that Houdini's birthday was on Halloween too. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Hey, Mark, how's it going, buddy? Everything's going good here. Oh, the rest of the family ate the beef. You just okay. You made beef stew. The rest of the family had the beef. You just had the veggies. That's cool. It's good you can find that balance. You don't agree with eating meat, but can work with your family and make it all work out. Has the cold weather started yet? And if not, when does it start? I'm still kind of new here. And so I'm not really sure. And this year has been a really weird year weather. Starting last winter with that 50-year cold streak we had, and then it was kind of a weird summer too. It took a long time for the summer to kind of heat up, and so I don't even think this is a good data point to look at. This is only my third fall here, so I don't know. It is cooling off a little bit. The temperatures aren't in the upper 90s, and we may be even into the 70s in the next week or 10 days. So we'll see. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving in Canada, so it's a traditional dinner tonight. That sounds good. How's Flash? I haven't heard from Flash in a while. Maybe got to go check in with Beth, see how we're doing. Flash is going to be getting to the point here pretty quick. She's going to start hibernating, so but we got a little ways there. She's usually down by about Thanksgiving. Depends on what the weather's doing, though. If it's nice and warm out, she'll be up and about. Been a long time since you've been on. Do I still like Texas? And am I seeing an influx of people moving in? Um, I still love Texas. Texas just gets better and better for me. I have no issue whatsoever. Um, as per people seeing people move in, I'm not aware of it that much, but I'm hearing it's happening. I'm guessing a lot of people that are maybe fleeing the more blue states or maybe going to more blue parts of the country, of the state, Dallas or Austin or something like that, and maybe aren't seeing as much of it here. What if YouTube made me pay $200 per person on a live stream? I wouldn't do live streams anymore. Let them say pay me. I guess it's a good thing we're not looking at that right now. Instead of showing his bite, he's licking his butt. So you don't want to see that. Trust me. Do I care to comment on what I think is the best that's happened to me since I moved to Texas? The job far and away. It's a great job. It's been a great opportunity. Um, I'm probably making more money right now than probably any time ever in my life, except when I was at WIA. And but the issue here now is it's so much less expensive. In addition to the fact that everything is less expensive in Texas, it's also the fact that I don't have to um, worry about things like rent or mortgage because I bought the house for cash, so it's mine. So all I got to deal with is the property tax bill, and that's just once a year. So it's just I'm in just a really good financial situation, but just everything really came together for me when I moved to Texas. I like the people. I love the area I'm in. I love the weather. It's just it was the right move for me. It really was. Well, hibernation with Flash isn't necessarily what you think, where she goes to sleep and then is sleeping for 6 months. Her hibernation is based on her body temperature. And so, if in the middle of winter it suddenly gets warm and it's in the 80s or 90s, she'll be up and about. So, if I put her in the car and the sun is shining on her, she'll warm up and she'll wake up. So, what I'll have to do is probably find some place to put her to keep her out of the sun. So she does sleep. It will be a lot less stressful on her if I can keep her sleeping the whole time. Yeah, I heard Elon Musk moved Tesla down here. I guess he's still maintaining a presence in California, but I guess his big manufacturing facility is going to be here in Austin, though. Do I have to do anything special for Flash in the fall? Um, no, she. That's one of the great things about having her as a pet. She's really an autopilot pet. I don't have to do anything for her. You know, it'll be a little different here in Texas because if we get another point where we get a deep freeze like happened last winter, I'll have to, move her in the house or someplace. And I don't want to move her into the house per se because um, I don't want her. I don't want it being warm in her waking up and her being around, walking around. But I think probably what would happen is if it got too cold outside, I'd probably move her into the garage, put her in the storm shelter, and she can sleep in there. It'll stay cool enough that she'll stay hibernating, but not so cold that it'll be dangerous for her. Hey, Black Dot, how you doing? Yeah, I agree with you, Kathleen. It's just it's one big thing I don't have to worry about. You know, that was always the big deal. That was half of my expenses when I was in California was just the mortgage. It was 1,500, $1,600 a month. That's a lot of money, especially when you're only really technically working part time at Disney. So it's just nice to not have to think about that. Oh, Eric broke up with his girlfriend. Bummer. But you're young. You'll find somebody else. Plenty of fish in the sea. How's my mom? My mom's doing good. She's got a doctor's appointment, I think, going tomorrow just to check up, make sure, everything's going good. Has Bite ever chased his tail? I don't think so. I've never seen him do that. Taking the makeup off is a little harder than putting it on. It takes a little rubbing. I'm guessing if I went and got like some cold cream or something like that, it'd probably come off easier. But what I usually do is just use a paper towel and some water. Beth, you sure loves Flash. Yeah, I think it's going to be a battle to get Flash back. I think Beth likes having Flash. You're not the first person to say that, Gene. I might have to get Beth a tortoise. Find some tortoise rescue, something that will get her one of those big 2-ton Galapagos tortoises. The ones the kids ride around on. I'm sure that would go well in her 20 by 20 backyard. Did I say I have a storm shelter? Yeah, the house came with one. That was a complete surprise too. I didn't even know it was there until um, I was doing the tour of the house and I went out in the garage. It's like, oh man, this place has a storm shelter. How awesome is that? And I guess I just missed it because it was actually on the ad listing. It's just in the fine print. I've gone into it a couple times on vlogs and stuff like that. Do I store it with necessities? Not necessarily. Sometimes I'll put stuff that I am, like water or when I'll use it for storage for like food and stuff like that. But usually most of that most of the time I just keep that in the pantry thing I built. Can I describe my storm shelter? I'll do better. Let's go mobile here. I'll show it to you. Let me unconnect here. And let's go do a little walkabout here. That's something that our friends from Australia will understand. It's right out here in the garage. In fact, I'm pretty convinced that they built this door here going into the garage specifically so that they could get to it easier. But yeah, this is the storm shelter right here. And basically you go in. I hope I don't lose my connection because I'm essentially in a big metal box right now. It's got a little light, and it's got a, well, push light when it works, but basically it's called a family safe, and I'm gonna probably totally lose my connection now, but close the door, you lock it closed, and this place is like a bomb shelter. So yeah, that's the storm shelter right there. It's not really big. All I got in there right now is a chair. There was a funny sticker in here. I don't know if they took it with them or not. I guess they took it with them. But when I was walking around doing the tour of the house when I moved in here, they had like a funny magnet on the door that said it was talking something about hot dogs or something like that, and playing with hot dogs and fire or something like that, and the joke was it's all fun and games until somebody loses a wiener. And you'll have to go back and watch the video when I walked through this house the first time because it's in that. But yeah, that's the storm shelter right there. Okay, let me plug myself back in here. Give me a second here. Gotta have the mouse. Gotta have power. And there we go. We are back. Let's see, what are we doing here? It was definitely one of the selling points because even before I moved into the house, or bought a house, I thought, I was going to probably build one at some point just to be safe. And so, it was one of those things that I didn't even think to put on the list, but when I saw it was there, it's like, oh man, bonus. Yeah, a lot of people think of storm shelters as being underground, and I guess that's sort of the traditional way to do this. But this is just a big concrete box that's anchored to the ground in the garage, and it should very, very adequately protect me in an emergency. So it's good to have. Is the storm shelter soundproof? I don't think it's necessarily soundproof, but it probably deadens the sound quite a bit because, it sounds like it's pretty solid. It's the walls are like an inch and a half thick, and I'm guessing it'd probably survive. I'd probably survive a nuclear bomb in that thing. Yeah, I hope I'll never have to use it either, but it's nice to know it's there. Yeah, well, that's kind of nice too. It has it could actually act as a safe room. In fact, somebody you remember right after I moved in, I had all the locks on the doors all replaced, and at the same time, I had them replace all the locks on the storm shelter, and there's actually 3 deadbolts on there. And I remember at the time I posted that video, somebody made a comment in the comments section saying, is it really a good idea to have the locks on the storm shelter, which could be used as a safe room, be the same key as the rest of the house? And it was a good question, and I thought about that, but it turns out it's not a concern because on the inside of the door, there's the ability to put these two big, thick metal bars that block the door. They'll prevent the door from opening up. So even if somebody had the key, they could not get into that place. So it's a good room for Jordan when comes to visit. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe we'll. I think I'll probably be more likely to let him use the guest bedroom. That sounds like a better thing for a host to do, right? So what am I going to do for the rest of my day on Sunday? I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out. I mean, I've already got this week's videos up, so I don't have to worry about that. This might just be a recovery day from the last 2 days because, I've been doing my 12 and a half hour work days and then driving to Temple and doing Silo Screams, and that's another, 4 or 5 hours. So, I got to bed last night about 1 a.m. Night before I got to bed about midnight, got up again at 5 a.m. to go to work and start the whole thing over. So, maybe Sundays will just be recovery days for the next couple of weeks until we get past Silo Screams. But I don't know. I might do something too. I don't know. We'll figure it out. At very least, I think I got to go out and harvest some jalapenos. The jalapeno plants were slow to start, but um, they've taken off now. I'm getting all sorts of stuff coming off that. I know the carpetbagger was in Texas. No, I didn't. Um, I met him once. Jordan invited me along, and he and I and Adam and carpetbagger went out and just hung out in Hollywood one evening and like went to like a taco truck and had some dinner. That was kind of fun. But I gotta admit, I've never seen one of his videos, so he could be in front of my house and I wouldn't know it. Second Amendment makes your entire home a safe room. Yeah, but Second Amendment isn't going to protect your house from a tornado. Get away from me, tornado! Bang, bang, bang! Yeah, that'll work. This day, your favorite homemade Halloween costume was that of the Egyptian god Anubis. Okay, all right. Is the mask still required to work? Yes. Oh, I'm so over that. I was just getting to the point where I could breathe again and not have to, live with constantly having chapped lips. And now we're right back where we were again. Kathleen is right in the middle of making American chop suey. Yum, yum. It was all made out of chicken wire and paper mache, painted black and gold. Your girlfriend sewed and dressed herself as Cleopatra and also sewed your loincloth kilt. That's cool. Yeah, I mean the masks. It's just for show right now. It's ridiculous. I'm vaccinated. That's the point of getting vaccinated. And if people are so afraid of the virus, but they won't get vaccinated, then fine, you wear the masks and you social distance. But everyone says it's selfish that I don't want to wear a mask to protect other people. No, I think it's selfish insisting that everybody do something so you can feel safe. There's all sorts of reasons not to wear masks. Well, I'm not really a lazy person anymore. I'll admit, early in my life, even into my middle age, I was kind of lazy. But it's just because I think, you know, kind of opportunities kind of dropped in my lap. Just because whatever job I did, I tended to be really good at it, and maybe I kind of became complacent and said, you know what, this is just too easy. I'll just, I don't have to do a whole lot, and it just all kind of comes to me. But I think when I got to Disney, if there's one positive thing that came out of Disney, is that I found my work ethic at Disney because I kept trying and trying and trying to get their attention, and I couldn't. And that just made me work harder and harder and harder. And that's just sort of who I am now. Cool and drizzly in Cape Cod today. Definitely the fall season is in the air. Yeah, I suppose when you get more north like that, that tends to happen. So now you're gonna get more into soups and stews. That actually sounds good. Maybe that's a good suggestion for future cooking vlogs. A lot of crazy propaganda going on in the country. Ain't that the truth? But you know what? I'm always going to tell you what I think. That's just who I am. The biggest problem I have with the masks is they provide them for us at work, but I think they account for the fact that there's big people and there's little people, and some people have larger heads than others. But in order, I guess, for them to believe the masks work, they have to be snug over your face, and they have the ones that have the loops that go over your ears. And I think they buy the mask for people with smaller heads because when someone like me who has a relatively large head goes around my ears after wearing it for 12 years for 12 hours, it's like I have a headache because it's constantly pulling on my ears and I feel it's going to pull my ears off. And so, I don't know. I'm they hurt when I wear them after a while. And I don't like those things that hook onto them and go behind your neck because then they end up pulling down on your nose. The ears, kind of center. The mask is pulled more this way, whereas if you get the ones that go around the neck, the mask is pulled more down, so there's more pressure on your nose, and that's annoying. Do I think the masks work? I think the masks help if you're sick. If you're sick, then it's fine. That's a good thing to do because now if you're coughing, it's not, you're not blowing, germ viruses all over the place. But in terms of protecting people who aren't getting sick, the truth is most people don't you wear the mask right. Anyway, you're not, you're supposed to wrap them around your nose so it's a nice snug fit around your nose, and you're not supposed to touch the face of the mask. If you're touching things that somebody who's got the coronavirus has touched or sneezed on or something like that, and then you touch the mask, what do you think's happening? And if you don't wear it snug around your nose, or if there's any gaps in it on the sides or anything like that, most of the air is coming in through those gaps, not through the mask. Plus the fact the fibers on the mask aren't tiny enough to stop viruses. I was talking to a friend at work who's a smoker, and she said at one time that she'd take a drag on her cigarette and then put the mask up and blow out, and the smoke would all be coming out of the mask. Well, smoke particles are a lot larger than viruses are, so smoke particles are getting out. So viruses are getting in. So, like I said, it's theater. It's something they do to make it look like they're doing something when in reality they aren't. That's my opinion, at least. Do I plan to get the booster shot? No. No, I got the vaccine initially not because I was afraid of the virus, but because I wanted to stop wearing the mask. And if they're gonna, if that doesn't get me anywhere, if I still have to wear the mask, then why? What's the point? That's one of the things that just completely blows me away about the government's rollout of this whole thing. They want people to get the vaccine. Great, I got the vaccine, but they completely undermined their article, their position on this now because they're saying, well, yeah, you get the vaccine to protect yourself, but it doesn't protect you because you still got to wear a mask. It's like what? You just undermined your own message. But whatever. Yeah, let's switch topics. I'm tired of this. You make habanero jelly. See, I've seen jalapeno and habanero jelly. Never really thought about it that much. It doesn't sound that appetizing. Maybe I ought to buy some and check it out, but doesn't sound um, doesn't sound that appetizing. And I love jalapenos and habaneros, but maybe I'm just thinking of like eating it on toast or something like that. Maybe that's not what you're supposed to do. Sorry, I wanted to get off that subject, but that's too funny to Peg Two's comments is too funny not to mention. Masks are as effective as a swimsuit is to prevent pee in the pool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I agree. Masks will help you with pollen because pollen is much larger than a virus. Masks are a good thing for that, and it's a necessary thing if you have asthma. It probably would have been a good thing for me when I was a kid too, because I had horrible hay fever and it was bad in the spring. Fortunately, I outgrew that, and that was a good thing. What colors am I thinking about for my bedroom? It's funny. When I woke up this morning, I was kind of looking around there and thinking about that. And when I was in California, my house in California, I did some kind of strange things painting wise. I had one room, there was a guest bedroom upstairs where I had this big spiral pattern of different colors on there. And in the living room downstairs, I did something really wild. It was this light blue color on the walls, this dark blue color on about half of the ceiling, and I had this big giant yellow figure eight pattern painted on the ceiling. And I haven't really done anything weird in this house yet. I'm thinking maybe I was thinking this morning maybe I'll do something strange in the bedroom. I don't know. I haven't figured out any colors yet, but something weird, something interesting. Did the cats wake me up this morning? No. They woke me up yesterday morning, though, not by meowing, but because one of them decided to barf. And so you hear the, it's like, bite, really? I got 5 hours to sleep, and you're gonna wake me up with that? I don't even know if it was bite. It might have been nibble. I can sometimes tell which one of them it is when they're meowing, but it's hard to tell which one it is when they're barfing. Any news on the cabinet remodel? I think they're still talking about the first or second week of December. So we're still a ways off on that. The whole COVID thing, and the combination of the fact that and there's so many open jobs right now. They're just saying it's just a really long lead time on that. Yeah, I know. I don't like talking about that too much. I know sometimes I get wound up on something like that, but yeah, I want to make these live streams a more positive thing, not just me sitting 2 hours of me complaining. Nobody wants to hear that. Yeah. Well, it's nice when people want to compensate you for helping them. But yeah, I get it about doing things out of the kindness of your heart. The world would be a much better place if we all kind of did that, did something for someone else without without expecting anything in return. Tracy's got errands to do. Have a nice weekend, Tracy. Yeah, yeah. Jordan slept in the guest bedroom, and that was where the spiral was on the ceiling, and so he knows all too well what that was like. I did really like that. I did really love the ceiling in the best guest bedroom. No, that was awesome. I maybe would have picked a little different colors in hindsight. I think the because it was a light blue and a dark blue color. The dark blue was a little different from this dark blue, but the light blue I think had a little too much purple in it. I would have maybe almost gone with like this color blue. And I think the colors clashed a little bit, but I think it looked all right. I like the idea of it. In fact, I'm sort of thinking maybe I'll do something similar to that. Put a big spiral on the ceiling, paint it different colors. See, the only time I'm really in the master bedroom is when I'm sleeping, and most of that time it's dark, so I don't see anything on the ceiling. If I do something weird, I'm sure it will appall the former owners, but that's okay. It's my house. How long do they say it would take to complete the cabinet job once they started? They're saying 3 days. So, that shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to see if they'll consent to me putting a time lapse camera in there and being able to document the whole thing. I think at least it'll be interesting for the vlog. I'll tell them it's there, and if they want it, they can mug for the camera a little bit. I used the smoker lately. I haven't used it lately. It's probably been a couple months. But honestly, I haven't really used a barbecue lately. I can't even remember the last time I used a barbecue. And actually, I probably did use the smoker because I think it was maybe, I don't know, a month or so ago. I think I made pork chops and I put those on the smoker, I think. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't surprise me, Peg, that people would do that more so in Texas. People are just so more kind here. You know, you have people that we wave at each other when we wave at strangers when we drive by in the car. People just say hi to you when you're in the store or something like that. Not even knowing who you are. If Beth wanted to keep Flash, could you adopt a new tortoise and fly to California instead of driving? Well, part of the reason I want to go to California is there's some stuff I inherited from my father that is still in California, and I gotta bring that back. So I think I kind of have to drive. Although I'm more and more thinking of like crating it up and having it shipped here or something like that. Yeah, that just seems to be a thing in Texas, people, and I don't think it's necessarily just Texas. I think a lot of the South is that way. People are just nicer to each other. I think that's just, and maybe it's just because I'm looking at California, from the perspective of California. In California, people soon kick you than say hi to you. I think it's just California is just a really, really, the people are just not very nice. I mean, not all of them. It's not a stereotype about all Californians. It's just there's a lot of jerks in California. Just saying. Everybody got quiet all of a sudden here. Steven Cook's bite back in the shop. Use pods. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Actually, there's several companies I've noticed that seem to have something similar, and I wouldn't need the full size pod. Some of these companies have like these little mini things that's maybe like you know 6 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot box, and that'd probably be perfect. I got a flat screen TV and some tools and stuff like that that need to come, and that's about it. Wouldn't really require a whole lot. You gonna come up and visit? Might be worth it. Now it's funny. I know Jordan used pods when he moved too, and apparently he had nothing but positive to say about that. But see, I think the problem was, except for the fact that I had one bad experience with him, and that was that I called them and told them, okay, I'm ready for you. Because okay, let me back up on this. We retell the whole story. I got 3 pods to move all my stuff here, and they were delivered to my house in California once of every couple weeks, and I'd load one up and they'd pick it up and they'd move it off to one of their factories or one of their warehouses, and then another one would come up and I'd load that one up, and that would go off to their warehouse, and then the third one came and that was the final one. We got that all packed up, and they came and picked that up the day I left. And when I got to Texas, well, actually, when we started leaving California, I called them and says, okay, I need you to take the pod that you picked up today and have it delivered, get it ready to go to Texas. And I called them as soon as I knew where it was going to go and said, okay, here's where I need you to have it. And they said, okay, we'll have it there in 2 days. Well, 2 days came and went, and then it was a week, then it was 10 days. And like, it was 10 days that I had, nothing in the house. I had just a couple things. Fortunately, I brought my computer with me in the car, because I knew I wanted that, but I didn't have a TV. So I was using the computer monitor as a TV for a while. I actually had 2 computers because I have my media center TV, or computer, which was there, and I had that hooked up to the to a monitor, and that was my entertainment system. And I had to go buy an air mattress to sleep on, and a sleeping bag to sleep in. And fortunately, the apartment came with a refrigerator. But I did without stuff for 10 days simply because they forgot to, and when I told them to ship stuff, they forgot to ship it. And so all of a sudden, like a week after it's supposed to deliver, it's like, hey, what happened, people? This was supposed to be here a week ago. Oh, we forgot to ship it. And then I tried to say, okay, well, there need to be consequences for this. I want you to compensate me for this. And they wouldn't do it. and they offered me like $50 a day compensation for that. It's like, that's insane. I'm paying you thousands and thousands of dollars to move this stuff, and you made the mistake, and you can't, and you're not even willing to take responsibility for it. So in the end, they ended up screwing themselves over because my plan was to leave the two like remember I said I had three pods. The first one, when it finally did arrive, I unloaded all that stuff into the apartment because that was the last stuff to come out of the house. So that was the most crucial stuff. That was, the DVDs and CDs. That was the bed, all the stuff that you need, for the couch, all the last stuff to come out of the house, the stuff I needed the longest, the desk, all that fun stuff. And the original plan was to have them hold on to the other two pods until I was ready to move into the house. Well, as soon as they, jerked me around with compensating me for their mistake, I said, okay, fine, that's to you guys. I'm going to unload the pods. I'm going to move it into a storage unit. And they lost way more money as a result of just not taking responsibility for their mistake than they would have had they just said, you know what, yeah, we screwed up. We're going to fix this. But whatever. It was probably a better move for me to do that anyway because it was an enormous amount of money to have them stored in that pods. I saved a lot of money by putting stuff in the storage lockers. It was 4 miserable hot days unloading those things with one person and moving stuff from the pod into a rental truck and then moving it from the rental truck into the storage locker. But I saved a lot of money in the process. So it was good. It was a better idea at the end. All right, so I've been rambling now for about 10 minutes. What did I miss here? California has a lot of fires. That's the truth. I don't miss that at all. Texans still have manners. That's it. It really is. I mean, one of the stereotypes you always hear about the South is that, it's all a bunch of racist redneck inbreeds. And it's like, no, it isn't that way. There's better race relations here in Texas than there are in California. I'll be honest with you on that. There's no competition. I have more non-white friends here now than I ever had in California. And I think I know why it is too. In California, if you really think about it, all the races are in kind of different areas. There's your white neighborhoods, there's your Asian neighborhoods, there's your Latino neighborhoods, there's your black neighborhoods, and very rarely does anybody live in anyone else's neighborhood. Occasionally you do, but it isn't that way in Texas. In Texas, your next door neighbor can be Hispanic, your neighbor across the street can be black. That's how it is for me. My next door neighbor on this side is Hispanic. My neighbor across the street, one house over, is black. It's a lot harder for racial stereotypes to take over, I think, when somebody of that race. When your kids play together, when you go to neighborhood events together or see each other in the grocery store. It's harder to believe something negative about the other when you know the other. Because then you look at it and say, no, that can't be true because I know this person. They're good people. I don't know. That's just me. If it wasn't so lazy, I'd get my pilot's license and fly flash. Yeah. Well, honestly, I'll tell you the truth. I would love to learn how to fly. But actually, what I'd love to do is learn how to fly a helicopter. I think that would be fun. What do they charge for that? For the pods, I think you mean? It's a lot. I think just for the part I did, I probably paid $8,000 or $10,000. And that's for them, for the cost of them, bringing the pod to my house and then pulling it away, storing it, transporting it, storing it again some more, and then pulling out when I need to unload it. But I think it would have been like $3,000 or $4,000 a month to store the stuff in the pods. And at the end of the day, I got 2 storage units half a mile from my apartment, and that was $150 a month. So it made more sense to do it. It was a pain in the neck to move it, but it was in the long run, it was a good business decision, a good financial decision. Your brother painted a bedroom, one wall white, one wall black, and the ceiling was painted with four squares, black and white. And he had black lights. Yeah, that I don't know if I'd do black, but that sounds something kind of fun. I've also thought about maybe doing something that skews the perspective of the room, makes it look like the walls are slanted or something like that. I don't know. I got to do some thinking, but something. I want to do something interesting. I don't know. I've gone so far, in this house by doing everything kind of normal, kind of traditional. Yeah, you may not like my colors, but I haven't done anything really strange in this house yet. So maybe I'll do something really strange in the bedroom. Home Depot now has something like pods. So I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I reject racism in all forms. I agree completely. Judge people as individuals. Wow, what was that? Hang on a second. I gotta check that out. There's a lot of bang outside. 1 second. Well, that's kind of funny. A big giant branch just broke off of one of my trees. So I guess I know what I'm doing today. I'm gonna be cleaning up a big giant branch. It looks like it's been dead for a while, so it must have. It's kind of windy outside. I'm guessing that's what happened. Yeah, I like the living room colors I chose to. These, like I said before, this color, this dark blue and this light blue are the same colors I had in my house in California. And so it kind of ties everything together. Kind of, it makes it feel more like home because I'm used to these colors. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see what you're talking about, Peg. I don't know that's not necessarily for me, but I kind of see what you're talking about. That sounds kind of cool. Yeah, maybe a vlog about taking me. Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna go out and snap a picture of this because you got to see this thing. This thing's awesome. It obviously hit the house on the way down. I think that's what the bang was. But I'll go snap a picture of it and you can see it. don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but we'll try. Oops. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we can get it in such a way, but it's right there. It's all of this here. Yeah, it's kind of, this camera doesn't do a very good job. There you go. I think that's a little bit better. But it's this branch right here and goes all the way over here. That thing's probably 8 feet long. So that was a pretty major branch that hit the ground. There might even be a little damage to the rain gutters up top there. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Squirrel crashed under the chimney cover. Yeah, maybe. Hope I have a chainsaw handy. It's not that big of a branch. I think at its thickest, it's probably about 4 inches thick. I could probably use my reciprocating saw. Well, one of the things I inherited from my father was a chainsaw, but that's still in California. So fortunately, I won't need it now. I think I'll just use the reciprocating saw. That'll chop it up. But Black Dot is correct. I'll probably use it for kindling for the fireplace. We'll be probably firing up the fireplace here pretty soon. Getting close to that time of year again. Yeah, it hit a little landscaping, but most of what's there is that Asian jasmine stuff, and that's kind of a low lying kind of thing. So I don't think there's going to be much damage there. It literally sounded like an explosion when that thing hit the ground, though. I was wondering what it was. Like I said, it must have hit the house. I'll go up on the roof maybe today and see if we caused any damage up there. Definitely want to check that out because it's supposed to rain tonight. Don't want any surprises. Wouldn't be any fun being up on the roof when it's lightning and thundering at 3 in the morning. Like I said, the leaves were all dead on that branch, so I'm guessing the branch itself died, and it's really windy out there right now. They're saying, 20-mile-an-hour winds, and maybe even gusts up to 30. So I'm guessing that's the first time that it's been windy like that here in a while. So I'm guessing it just broke it. I need to include a standard banana for scale. Yeah, well, problem is there's never a good banana when you need one. Just take my word for it. That branch was about 8 feet long. Fireside chat, yeah, maybe. Fireside live stream. We don't do chats anymore. So much for a relaxing Sunday afternoon. Yeah, ain't that the truth? No, it's not going to be too bad. I think it's a 10-minute fix up. It'll take longer to get the tools out and get out there and ready to do it than it will to actually clean it up. Can I ride horses? I've ridden a horse. It's been a long. I was a kid last time I did it, but I've been on a horse before. Any places I can do it? I'm sure there are. Actually, one of the things I'm thinking about doing this week is the Texas rodeos in town. You may recall I did that a couple years ago. Well, my work actually gave me free tickets to the rodeo, so I'll probably be going to that sometime this week, covering that. That was fun. Excuse me about the chat. That was a catfish moment. All right, I guess we've started a new joke here now. You say something that you didn't mean to say, and it's now going to be a catfish moment. Remember, people, you were here when we coined a phrase. Yeah, definitely firewood. I'll put it aside because, like I said, the thick part of the branch is probably 3 or 4 inches in diameter. So, you know what? That'll burn. And even the twigs and stuff like that, that'll be good kindling. Might even rather when I cut it up, I might even just move it in here and put it in the fireplace right now. Then when I'm ready to go, all I got to do is just start it. Sounds like a T-shirt or a poster or a hat or bumper sticker. Yeah, maybe. How are the blooms around the house? There's not a whole lot right now that's blooming. Um, let's see, what is blooming? Not really a whole lot right now. It's kind of boring, but that's okay. All the plants, for the most part, are doing good. Catfish is going to stick with me now. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess it could be worse. You have two cat. You can have two catchphrases now here. That's not how it's done, and that was a catfish moment. That's how these things start too. It's just somebody says it over and over again, and all of a sudden it becomes like a running joke. Kind of like, let's go, Brandon. Yep, I had to go there. They're planning on replacing the palms. Yeah, I don't know if I'll replace them with palms, but I want to kind of redo that whole area. The blue bonnets didn't make it. I guess I kind of figured that was going to be an issue um, because blue bonnets are kind of a sun lover, and that's too shady in that corner. And so I think the only things that really are doing all right in there are those daisies that I put in there, and there were only 3 of those. So right now that whole little corner there is mostly weeds, and so I'll probably end up just plowing that all under and starting over next spring. Like I said, the main issue there was getting it to the point where it is a bed that I can do something in now, and so 99% of the work is done. Now if I want to put some other plants in there, all I got to do is do that. Don't stop making catfish moments, huh? Yeah, well, you know what? That's going to happen. I'm going to have my share of catfish moments. Yeah, we have a few shares of Bite's butt too. There's Bite's face in case you wanted to know. It's the biggest difference in the weather I've noticed here is at night too. It's getting into the 50s sometimes at night. So we're definitely moving in that direction. We're moving in the right direction. See, that's another thing I like about this place over in California. You get into fall and it's actually fall like weather. In California, the hot part of the year is September, October, November. You wouldn't think so. You'd think summer would be the worst, but we're into fire season now in California. This is the worst time. September through December is basically fire season in California because that's when you get all of the what they call Santa Ana winds. I made your day laugh. Well, that's good. I try and do that. I mean, I got a weird, bizarre sense of humor. Sometimes it comes out of my videos. Yeah, that whole thing I didn't even realize I kept saying catfish until I was editing it. And the first time, I put the text up, it said mermaid, not catfish. And I think the second time I put the same thing up, but in a larger font. And then by the time it happened the third and fourth time, it's like, oh man, you can't fix it. So at that point, you just got to laugh at it. As a drummer, that's what they say. You know you're a pro when you step in doo doo and come out smelling like a rose. Yeah. When am I closing the pool and am I going to cover it up? I think the pool is probably closed at this point. That may be something we do this week is get it covered up for the season. Because yeah, you know, I at this point it's too cool to go into it, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be trending in the right direction anytime soon. It's into the 70s now, and that's a little too cold for me. I don't like to get in there and be freezing. So what I'll probably do is spend the week run the vacuum and make sure we get the whole bottom of the pool cleaned up and ready to go, and maybe put one last batch of chemicals into it, and then we'll cover it up for the season. Your fire season is over at that latitude. That's good. It's just getting going in California. I'm glad to say that Texas doesn't really have a fire season. Am I happy with how many times I got to use the pool this season? No. I wish I could use it more. I don't feel like getting into it on work nights because I get home, I get off at 7:30, get home, kind of get situated by about 8, and then it's only a couple hours before I go to bed. So I wish sometimes on some of those really warm nights I could just get out and soak in the pool a little bit, but I only really did it on my weekends, and I wish I had more opportunity to do it. But yeah, yeah, I went to Sequoia National Park, which is the ones that have those big giant uh, redwoods and sequoias and stuff like that. The ones that are thousands of feet tall and thousands of years old. Those are amazing. Shell's getting a lot of warm weather. The leaves haven't turned. Usually, my experience with the leaves, you'll get one cold streak, and all of a sudden the leaves all turn. I know that was the way it was. I had a couple of maple trees in California, and it seemed like forever and ever that the leaves would be green, and all of a sudden there'd be 1 or 2 days where the temperature would drop into the 50s, and then like within a week all the leaves had changed. We use solar to heat the pool and extend the swimming season. I have actually thought about doing part of the return system for the water pump, where it actually goes up and runs up along the roof and gets baked in the sun for a while before it gets pumped back into the pool. Yeah, maybe someday. Be a lot of plumbing to do that. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to place the floats this year. Uh, the problem I ran into wasn't bad placement last year. It's just that I believed once I got the cover on top of it, I didn't have to have the ropes securing the floats to the side of the pool, and so I disconnected them so that they weren't like wrapped underneath the tarp and all that. And apparently, the wind still kind of managed to blow all the floats to one side of the pool. So I think the secret this year is to just leave the ropes attached. And so we'll do that this year. Also, I found that one of them last year leaked a little, so I want to try and find the leak and patch it. Jeff made it back. Hey, Jeff, how was barbecue? I love the trees, and it's a lot. It's a lot. You're right. It is a lot of work in the fall to clean up the leaves. But basically, what I do is I just use the lawnmower to do that. I bag it all, and that's a good way of doing it, I think. Okay, so the barbecue is no cooking with the kid. Yeah, well, I'm sure it rarely is. Black Dot's checking out. Thanks for stopping in, Black Dot. It was great talking to you. There he comes. It's like a dog whistle for cats. Oh, there they both come. See how conditioned they are? Pavlov's cats. You gotta be quicker than that, Nibble. Otherwise, Bite's gonna get them all. And Nibble got that one. They're not quite so gullible anymore. See, they can run when they want to. For those of you who are wondering where Bite and Nibble went, well, Suzanne's checking out. Got to take the dog out for a walk. I understand. Yeah, maybe if I could take the cats out for a walk, maybe they wouldn't be so fat. It's the fastest you ever seen Bite run. Yeah, well, he does from time to time when there's food involved. What's the best food I've cooked on the smoker so far? Let's see. I mean, I've had good pork chops off of that. I'm kind of experimenting with that a little bit, but I did barbecue ribs once. I think when I last Thanksgiving I smoked a turkey on there. That actually turned out pretty good. Have I used my oven yet for a sheet pan dinner where you put everything on one sheet pan that comes out and dinner is served? No, I've never heard of anything like that. I think of sheet pans. I'm thinking like cookie sheets or something like that. Only thing I've ever done in the cookie sheets is cookies. Does Breck or Jeff cook fish on a vlog? I think I did cedar plank salmon once. They aren't addicted to cat treats. They're just addicted to eating. Have you ever been up in the attic? I've been up there a couple times. It's nothing really to speak of. There's lots of insulation up there. That was one of the things that the inspector pointed out that they did a really good job insulating the attic. You know, it's like there's like 16 inches of insulation up there, which is probably the reason why this house stays so cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Oh, Mark's checking out. Got to help with cooking dinner here. I almost got some cat hair on my nose or something like that, bugging me like crazy. Look forward to the next live stream. Yeah, we'll be here next week so far. I don't see any reason why not. You know, I'm sleeping a little bit later on Sunday mornings because Saturday night is a late night, but okay, so Jeff doesn't do fish because he doesn't like fish or can't eat fish or something like that. See, I'm from Minnesota. If I ever couldn't eat fish, you know, it's like I'd be disowned. Take the cat for a walk. I just can't imagine Bite or Nibble on a leash. And I don't think it'd be a walk; it'd be a drag. The last thing I want to do is drag a 20-pound cat around the block. That would literally be a drag. What will I have for lunch today? No lunch today. I eat 2 meals a day. Next meal I'll eat is dinner. That's how I keep my girlish figure. That and beer. Yeah, I really got out of the habit of eating 3 meals a day back when I was in college. Cast iron pots are awesome for homemade fries. I'll tell you what, um, that Dutch oven that I used a few weeks ago for that enchilada casserole, that still was amazing. I would definitely try that again. That was really good. Definitely put that on the list of one of the best things I've made. You have to definitely try that out for some more recipes. Maybe try and find some Dutch oven recipes that aren't really designed for being done on the campfire like that one was. Because while that's kind of a cool recipe book, it only has a couple dozen recipes in it. Most of the recipe books I have, have hundreds and hundreds of recipes on them. So you know, so definitely have to check that out, do more on that because, like I said, I got such great results with that. Cast iron pots are awesome for homemade fry. I guess I've never thought about that. I got a deep fryer anyway, so I haven't really ever done anything in the deep fryer for the vlog, but kind of bought it based on the recommendation of somebody at work. Somebody just gave you about 20 smoker cookbooks. That's the cool. So I guess we'll have a whole bunch of smoker recipes at some point. I probably need to go get a smoker recipe book. A lot of everything I've been doing on the smoker has just been me improvising. Jeff is really recommending the smoked meatloaf. I love meatloaf, so I have to maybe check that one out. I won't do it as a vlog because Jeff's already done it. Why would I reinvent the egg, right? I never really thought about making a meatloaf on the smoker though. Like I said, I love a good meatloaf. I've done a couple of meatloaf recipes. You freeze them, they stay together when you cook. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So when you said you froze it, you mentioned that earlier. You froze it before you cooked it. No, the stuff that's sitting behind me, I've shown you my DVD rack, and that's basically what this is. And it's just right behind me, and so that holds my DVDs. And this guy is just a couple feet behind me. I can actually touch him just for scale. Yeah, it probably does look like he's a long ways away, but basically everything there is, I can reach. Got my Newton's cradle here. Because you never know what's going to be interesting for a live stream. So, I put stuff back there just to make things interesting to look at, and maybe to create topics of conversations and stuff like that. And since it's Halloween, he's going to be a regular visitor. I may have him sitting on the couch at some point. Do I have backlog of cooking vlogs? No, cooking vlogs are generally kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing. I'll get up in the morning and say, what am I going to vlog today? Yeah, let's cook something. So I don't know. I don't have any cooking vlogs in the queue right now. I got 3 videos uploaded right now. I don't remember what they are. Shit, that says a lot. I know what one of them is, I guess, now that I think about it. Let's see if I can even figure it out from here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any cooking vlogs in the queue right now. I got 3 of them uploaded. One of them's kind of a fix-it video. One of them's another roadside attraction kind of thing, and then I did a hiking vlog also. I'm just saying, you put them on there frozen. The meat takes on the smoke in the colder the meat. That's interesting. Will I decorate my yard for Halloween? Since I'm not going to be here Halloween night, probably not. Last year I actually had this guy sitting out on the front porch in a chair, and he may end up being out in a chair at some point. But I'm not gonna go all out this year. I haven't for the last couple of years because I'm doing Silo of Screams every year right now, and that's sort of my Halloween, sort of becoming my Halloween tradition. Pot roast was good. Laura Lee is asking if Jeff can have cheesecake. I guess my question is, can you cook cheesecake on the smoker? If there's a way, Jeff will figure it out. Have I ever eaten pierogies? No, I've heard of them, but I've never. I don't think I've ever had one. I don't know what the trick or treater situation here is, because every Halloween so far that I've been in Texas, I've been working Silo of Screams, so I haven't been here. They're delicious dumplings, huh? He wasn't sure about the A1 sauce, but that's what they said in the recipe. You can use any kind of a sauce you want, but like I said, I don't think the A1 sauce uh, ruined the flavor at all. I was actually, like I said, more a little concerned about the red wine, but because I'm not really a wine drinker, but I don't think it overwhelmed the thing very well or very much, which is good because, like I said, I'm not really into the taste of wine. My eyes are still a little tired for the last couple days. I don't drink wine and I don't usually cook with it. The only reason I actually even chose that recipe when I saw that it had wine is because I had wine in the refrigerator from something else I had to make with wine. Don't cook with beer a whole lot either, but it's not because I don't like beer or don't have it. I just don't like to waste a beer. It does sound good, Peg. Yeah, I guess I've tried Heinz 57 sauce too. Family's doing good, great, Jeff. My mom has a doctor's appointment, I think tomorrow, and they're just going to basically check everything out, make sure everything's going fine. But she's doing well. Last time I talked to her, she was having a little bit of an issue. The fires are kind of popping up again in California, and that's becoming a bit of an issue. So she doesn't enjoy those. I'll tell you, I don't miss those at all. I hated the fires. It smelled, got ashes all over everything. The sky turned red. Hello, Kathy. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. Last couple minutes of it, at least. I have the weather radio, the NOAA weather radio I bought. I got to admit, I've never tried it in the shelter to see how it works, but I'm guessing it would probably work okay. You know, kind of my I've got a kind of a collection of things that I'd want to grab in the event I had to go into the shelter. Obviously, got to get the cats in there. Um, I want to try and bring the cell phone in if I can, you know, just in case I need to call for help or something. But the weather radio has batteries in it, so you know I can you know grab it and it will continue to work even if you lose power. Seems like everywhere has something. Yeah, hurricanes in Florida, definitely. Yeah, I heard that, Diane, that celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow. That's cool. Happy Thanksgiving. Do you have any food stocked up in the shelter? No, but see, I don't think the shelter is something that I'd probably be in for a long term. It'd be something that I'm in for a short period of time, like if there was a tornado warning or something like that. And tornadoes don't generally last very long, so I don't really see it as me needing to have, a large stash of food in there or anything. It's sunny in London. That doesn't happen very often, does it? I can't go camping much. Not much, but I have some camping equipment and I enjoy doing it. Basically, I think the thing is I prefer to go with somebody else, and so far I haven't really had an opportunity to get together with anyone that does that. You may recall a few years ago, I think the last time I went camping was a few years ago. We went with Jordan. We went up to Shidek. He did a vlog on that, so check that out if you ever get a chance. One of the things I remember about that is we were constantly driving around trying to find some place where you can get cell connections so you could upload his videos. Am I going to have Halloween displays in my front yard? Probably not, because I'm not going to be home on Halloween. I'm doing Silo Screams, this year again, and that includes Halloween night. So, kind of my Halloween now. My Halloween tradition is doing that rather than doing the stuff in the yard. Last year, I had this guy sitting on a chair in the front yard, and that may happen again. But that's about all I do. Yeah, it's possible that it could block out the radio frequencies being in the metal box. However, the truth is, a little earlier in the vlog, we went into the storm shelter doing the live stream, and we didn't seem to lose the connection there. So maybe it's designed to pass, radio waves or something like that. I don't know. I should probably look into that. I know I'm finding it hard to find some things in the grocery store. That's kind of disappointing. I like Gatorade, and for some reason, Gatorade is really rare right now. You can't seem to find it. Sorry, I felt that coming for a couple minutes there. The cranberry coffee cake, yeah, that was good. That was really good. I was really surprised how good that was. Definitely recommend that one. Thank you, Jeff. Well, that's the end of the water, so you know what that means. So I think I'm going to end this one right now. This was a fun live stream. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next time, and until then, thank you as always for watching. Good night, everyone.